My name is Dan Genovese, Product Manager at OMG Roofing Products, the inventors of the game-changing roofing system known as RhinoBond. And this is the Metal Rhino Podcast, where we talk everything metal. Not heavy metal, but instead RhinoBond for standing seam metal retrofit roofing.
Okay.
All right. Welcome. This is Dan Genovese from OMG Roofing Products, and we are here for the Metal Rhino Podcast show, talking all things RhinoBond for standing seam metal roofing. And and we are honored to have here today from GAF Paradigm Group. We have Anthony Utter. Oh, did you hear that? Anthony Utter on my far right. Ryan Eslich in the middle, and Claudia Abbona. Did I get that right?
You did not. It's Abbona.
It
actually was a typo there.
Okay.
Big one.
Excellent. Well, we got that straightened out. So, but actually, so we're here at the OMG Training Academy, and it's great to have you guys here. And so we're going to ask you a few questions, and we'll go from there. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we've done a couple of these podcasts so far. One with Chafee Roofing in Rhode Island, and another with Constructors 9-1 in Missouri. And when I asked them who brought this RhinoBond concept style for standing seam metal roofing, they said it was GAF. They both said GAF brought this to them. So what's the secret sauce? What's your secret to success in bringing contractors this? Who wants to handle that one?
Well, we try to offer always the contractor a resilient roofing system, but also something that makes sense and is budget friendly for them. So I think there's opportunities where RhinoBond fits right in.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Anybody else, Ryan?
No, I mean, I think we're always just looking for, especially where we're at in South Florida, looking for different ways, innovative ways to kind of separate ourselves from our competition, but also, meet and exceed code. And so RhinoBond for us was one of those systems that did that.
Okay, all right.
Specifically with standing seam retrofits, the waste factor is eliminated because it doesn't matter where your purlins sit. It just matters where because that's where your attachment is. And when you're doing a mechanically attached system, it mattered where the purlin's at. Mm-hmm. And so you had all this material waste. And then you had guys who would not follow, they'd skip purlins, and they do all kinds of things, which they did not meet code at that point. So having something that you could catch every purlin, didn't matter how big your sheet was. Also, as far as an efficiency goes for contractors who have to worry about water laps because it's an existing building, it doesn't matter. With single ply, of course, you can start at the top as easily as starting in the drain area at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So that created a new efficiency. So RhinoBond just matched up with that so well. So introducing it to the contractors is fairly seamless.
Right. Because
once you explain it to a guy who understands those things, they're moving in that direction.
You mentioned the waste factor, and I read recently that construction waste and roofing waste is one of the top 3 landfill problems. So is that important to a roofing contractor? Did they have to pay to dump all that stuff, right?
So the waste that I was speaking about was the unused portion of the material they would buy brand new, mm-hmm. that couldn't be used anywhere else because they had their spacing didn't allow them to do a mechanically attached system. But as far as
sustainability,
dumped waste goes, yeah, it's enormous, and it is something that they consider. Mm-hmm. If they can eliminate the waste on the job, definitely.
Right. We still see a lot of contractors today doing fully adhered roofs, fastening into the pans, and the poles are fairly weak versus fastening into the purlins. I got to imagine in Florida that's a no-no.
Absolutely, it's a no-no.
Yeah. And why is that?
Yeah, just because to your point, you're not going to get the pole withdrawals on the fasteners out of the 26 gauge metal pan. So, mm-hmm. So yeah, going into the trusses with the purlins is basically virtually the only option.
Okay.
Yeah. The permitting process in Florida. The fact that in Florida you can't do a roof without a permit. Anywhere else they can just say, oh well, we can do this. It's less expensive, and we'll just screw into the pan. Mm-hmm. You'd never get that through permitting, and if they caught you on it, you're tearing it off and doing it again right anyway.
Okay.
So that's why, we don't see we have a much easier time converting guys to something efficient instead of something that is not permittable and efficient.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
easier
So
transport.
the testing pretty much and the codes are on our side when it comes to making sense to the right system
Right.
and the right conditions.
Makes sense. It's on our side. I like that. So let's role play here for a little bit. Let's say I'm a roofing contractor, and I'm doing this project coming up, and I'm considering different things. I'm considering putting a coating on the roof. All right. What's your angle for coatings versus? Because you guys sell coatings, right?
We do sell coatings, yeah.
Right. Is there any big advantage of RhinoBond versus a coated roof? Just straight coated?
Permanence.
What was that?
Permanence.
Okay.
So, you know, when you do a RhinoBond system, you can have an extended guarantee. A coating, it depends on why the guy's roofing his building too. If he's roofing it because the insurance company's telling him he has to put a roof on it, then the coating doesn't count as a roof.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fairly simple, I mean, it's not gonna meet his requirements. So
Right.
knowing why the contractor's considering what he's considering.
Yeah, maybe if they're looking to achieve some kind of R value, you know, that could be also, you know, a reason
To go with RhinoBond.
to go to with RhinoBond.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because there is no added R value with the coating.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to get acclimated for a first-time contractor using RhinoBond, regardless if it's metal or non?
Well, depending on how well versed or diversified the contractor is, it's gonna have some hurdles to get used to it, but it's just a matter of having the right support, and that's something that we provide too. Making sure that we can handhold to that new contractor who's venturing in that technology, because there are some getting used to. That is normal in any kind of new technology.
Right. Right.
I mean, I think if you have good representation from your side, the OMG side of things, like Conor Kilburn, you know, by lunchtime, those guys should be up and running.
Excellent. Excellent. So you lean upon OMG to get up there and help the crews.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely work hand in hand with the team, with the OMG team. Conor being our guy in the market.
Is there a certain type of standing seam metal roof contents that you know is an ideal roof for a RhinoBond standing seam? Does the contents matter when you're selling a building owner?
Not necessarily. So if you're doing a standing seam RhinoBond attached, you're attaching into the purlins. You don't have a lot of debris into the building at that point. You don't have a lot of disruption. You're not doing a tear off. So the contents, I tell you, mostly we have a whole lot of storage units, you know, so we don't even know what the contents are.
Right.
It's just people's stuff.
So
And
it
there's
doesn't
all-
have to be high-end computers.
It does not. It does not. They're usually not going to be in a high-end computer system's not going to be in that kind of a building.
Right.
Not in South Florida anyway.
But it's still critical to keep it dry.
Yeah, it's easy to keep it dry.
Yeah.
Because of like we discussed, the method of attachment, and you don't have to start at the bottom, so you don't have a water lap. So if you're doing a retrofit on an existing building, everything, because they're usually sloped. You have gravity's in your favor. You've got everything going for you in that case.
Excellent.
Whereas with a coating, you don't always.
Right. So you guys have come to OMG in Massachusetts, and you know you guys are going to the Red Sox game later. You're going to Fenway Park, right? I understand, right?
Yeah.
Can you answer a couple of questions about the Red Sox and Fenway Park for me?
I only can speak soccer, sorry.
All right. Well,
We'll give it a shot.
All right.
Sure.
So a little trivia. What year did Fenway open up?
Was it, if I had to guess, I'd say, was it 1907?
Ah, you're in the right sort of decade.
Okay.
So we could just count down, or
Yeah.
count up.
Or count up.
Count up. What was it, the right decade?
All right.
09?
1912.
1912. I was going to say, my next year was going to be 14.
Right. I mean, it's important you know this stuff. You know,
Yeah,
you're going to
absolutely.
be
Well, I know
hanging
you're-
out before the game.
I know
and
you're a
just,
baseball
that's right.
enthusiast.
Aficionado and
aficionado,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So I'll give you one more question. All right.
Yeah.
Who wore number 27 for the Red Sox?
Oh, man, this is easy.
You guys got to know these things.
I know.
Seriously, how can we not know that?
Hall of Famer. You'll see his number in the up
Yeah.
in right field there.
27.
I just don't want to say somebody who wasn't a Red Sox, because I'm more likely to just throw out a name.
Give one more clue. One more
Go
clue.
ahead.
You played for the White Sox after the Red Sox?
Carlton Fisk.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Nice.
All right.
I needed one more clue. Yeah, we had it. That's right.
Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah. You guys are gonna have a great time. You know, Red Sox fans are passionate, and you'll see that when you get there. Even though they're out of the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do, right?
Absolutely.
There'll be another year.
Yeah.
So
That's the
all
thing
right.
about baseball. There's always another year.
There's always tomorrow.
Just like our Dolphins.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it. So thank you guys very much, and welcome, and or thanks for joining on, and
Yeah, thanks for having us.
see you guys on the roof.